Good morning, YouTubers. Take that off. Look how pretty I am. How's it going this morning? Sleepy. I'm gonna try to continue this last two videos that have been kind of related, in a sense, I guess. It's a conversation that's hard to have with people face to face because you end up down tangents and lose the point, which I do anyway, even when I'm alone. So there you go. Which I do anyway, even when I'm alone. I don't know if you can hear me or not. Fuck. Anyway, so whether you choose to believe it or not, I've clearly shown that they lie throughout university level, even in not just one science field. They do it in all of them. I've more shown geology in my conversation. We're watching the medical field fall apart in front of our eyes, and all the lies are coming out, and everybody's ready to openly admit that it is bought and paid for, and that these people taking a course, like say a medical degree, is a 7-year course of just constant learning. Very complicated stuff. And like 90% of it's all good, true information. It's just that the biases are sewn right in of like where they say, oh, well, fucking the teachers just say it too, right out to them. Oh, all that natural path stuff's just bullshit. But it's been proven to work better in a lot of cases than the fucking drugs, right? That's all you guys do is just make everybody addicts. And a lot of your drugs, like, kill people. That's a side effect. It's not acceptable. So rather than competing with them in an open field of conversation and research and putting them both things to the scientific test, they just bought the school, trained the teachers, and then tell the teachers what to say and what to teach and what not to teach and what to say negative about those things. So then they all say, oh, that's just fucking quackery. I was lucky enough in my school career to have a couple teachers who were actually there. So when they taught, they were like, well, yeah, they say this in the history book, but here's a little twist on what really went on, or whatever. You know? So I got to see just the peek behind the curtain. And thankfully that was the stuff that would have stuck with me, because it was truth, right? I was a real good truth detector when I was little, especially. And I couldn't tell, but I just naturally naturally went for the truth. Um, anyway, so knowing that they're a bunch of fucking liars, and knowing as Christians that every man's a liar before God, right? So if they say the earth flies around the sun and that we're flying through space, and the Bible says that the earth was set on foundations and is immovable, one of them's a liar. Is it God? Or is it man? Pretty easy for Christians to just say, no, you're a liar. You're just man. We know that film directors hinted around filming the moon landing. All scientific experimentation leading up to the moon landing was proving that the moon was plasma. All evidence. This old guy, he was being interviewed and they're kind of mocking him after the moon landing because they were lying and saying, "Oh, well, look, we did it. We took fucking the technology of a Game Boy, a 1980s Game Boy. That's how much technology they had in the fucking first space shuttle, like just over a calculator." And you think that the sun's moving, the Earth's moving, and then the moon's moving around the Earth, and they shot off of the Earth, kept up with all that movement, and triangulated where the moon was going to be according to all that extra movement that was going on, and hit it on the first try. And they hit it a few times after that, and then said, "Oh, well, whoops, we lost the fucking technology to know how to do that." It'd be a painful process to build it back up. That's a direct quote from NASA. Look it up. I forget the guy's name. Don Pepite, I believe. That's how it's pronounced. Don Petty or Don Petiti. Petty. You can read off of him, just watch him, that he would sell people out for money. Think about like that guy in school when he couldn't hide who he was as much because he was young and naive. When you're in school, that's when you get to know people's character. They tend to keep it throughout their lives. Most people don't. Well, I can't say that, but a lot of people don't stride to change their character that much, especially people who are greedy or thought it was cool to know a secret that nobody else knew or something, right? Feel like they're ahead of everybody else's education or whatever. So anyway, enough character slandering. He did directly say they lost that technology and it would be a painful process to build it back up. So they're not going to the moon, they're going to Mars now. Really, the director died. So we don't have the moon director anymore. But we have this whole new scene set up that's Mars. This whole fucking thing, green screens and everything, it's all set up. It's Mars though, it's the red planet, it ain't Earth. It certainly isn't a moon set. We don't have a moon set right now because we didn't think we'd want to go back to the moon. So we scratched the moon set. Now we have the Mars set. Probably multiple sets. And so we got to shoot the Mars film because that's what we're set up for. You can't just be making Batman, the movie, and then say, oh shit, I don't want to make Batman, I'm going to fucking make Lord of the Rings. We don't need to change any of the sets, let's just do it. No, you can't be planning Mars and then go to the moon. You know how much fucking... There's only a few people that work at NASA, like, to change all those sets and everything. And all those fucking movie sets and all that stuff and everything that they've done to get ready to go to Mars. They've been building up this since, fuck, I was a kid. This Mars thing. So, same with the moon, right? It took 10 years of build-up before they fucking went there. It wasn't, what's his name? Did it. Everybody thinks it was. The guy in war, I don't know. I can't remember how it all went now with all the presidents. I don't want to say it wrong, so I just won't say it at all. But, yeah. No, stop. I'm overthinking it now. Because I should know it. I should know that. But it was JFK, right? He got shot or something. Anyway, it wasn't him, it was Reagan, like 10 years later, that actually did it. One guy had the famous quote that we're going to do it. Another guy did it. Right, because it's Reagan on the phone, not JFK. Yeah, that's right. Pretty sure that's right. But I don't know if it was the JFK thing now. Thinking it was somebody else. Anyway. So, leading into and from, I blew the whole video time babbling on. From those conversations, moving into flat Earth, right? It's not an easy jump to go from, well, the Earth's young, okay, 6,000 years old, you showed that, but you didn't really destroy heliocentricism. You used some of it. Like, other limiting factors are that, like, in the heliocentric model, Saturn's rings are dissipating, the sun's getting smaller, the orbit of the moon is getting further away. So if you go back in time, billions of years, billions, then those things all become massive problems. Saturn shouldn't have its rings. They should be gone. They're dissipating, right? The fucking Pluto should be cooled down. That's another one. Pluto's still putting off more heat than it gets from the sun or whatever. So it's still cooling, is what they say. So it should be cooled already. If it was billions of years. The sun is shrinking. So billions of years ago, the sun would have been billions of feet bigger. That's a fucking huge problem. The moon's orbit getting slightly farther away every year. That's billions of slightlies. That's a huge fucking problem, man. No wonder the dinosaurs all drowned in the fucking tide. Noah's flood would have been every 6 hours or so. Water fucking just shaking around on the fucking ball. And it doesn't make any sense. Gravity pulling, gravity pulling. Why is it getting further away? So there goes your fucking stupid gravity. Right? Which is just a theory. There's no evidence. They put math on it. I can put math on anything. Right? You can go make up a bunch of fucking math, make up a word, and just start teaching it to everybody, and then just eventually it's just everybody's going to think that that math is something applicable. Uh, duh. So, those evidences aside, because they are evidence that's in your theory that disprove your theory. Like, that's lies within lies that just can't hold fucking water anymore. Right? It's when you catch a liar in a lie and he makes up another lie, but the two lies don't match up. You have to keep all your lies straight. Anyway. So, then you have the simple things. How do your eyes work? Go find out. Don't just assume. And see, how does your brain work? Even more importantly, to process information. When you look at a chair, and then you were thinking about drawing it, you would look and you would say, okay, it's a chair. It's got a flat seat, 4 legs, and a back, right? So you just start drawing that. Oh, a flat surface, 4 legs, and a back. And then it doesn't look like a chair. It just looks like nothing, right? And it never looks like the chair that you're looking at, right? But then if you actually take time to process what it is that you're fucking looking at with your brain, think about it. Look at the chair. I'm not looking at a chair, but you look at the chair and you say, "Oh shit, I only see one leg because of the angle that I'm sitting." And that flat seat part, it doesn't look quite flat. It is, but I can see the whole top of it. It's not just a line. It's a line, and then it's another line going, and there, and that's flat line. That's parallel, but this line is in perspective of where I'm sitting. So, and then this line's parallel, but then it's got fucking other lines coming down off of it, the base of it, that I gotta draw those lines, and then I only see that one leg out here. And that leg's blocked altogether by the fucking table, and I don't even see that. So I don't even see half the top of the chair. As a matter of fact, I gotta erase all that stuff because I didn't even see all that. I just drew it there because my brain thought that it was there. Because it knows it's there. But is it there? Or am I just telling myself that it's there and that's what I see? Or is that actually what I see? It's a hard thing to explain, right? But if you go out and learn it, right? Read the book Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain. It's a wonderful book, and it teaches you all about this stuff. And you do exercises and lessons and stuff, and you learn how to process, and then you learn how to switch things on so that you turn off that left side of the brain. and start really processing things like I was just doing when I was talking, right? I was looking at the details, and that's what I was actually looking at, something to describe a chair, but it's not a chair, but I was looking at something that has a flat surface. um, so when you actually look at what it is that you're looking at, and don't just assign the shape of what you know that shape to be, like chair, okay, assign chair, cooler, okay, assign cooler, square, right? But no, look at it. Do I see all of that square? Do I see all four corners? Do I see any of the bottom corners at all? Or are they just blocked off by something else? And how far away is that something else? And how am I going to describe that on the flat plane that I'm looking at? If I was to just flatten out everything that I'm seeing without depth perception, how would it all be described on paper? Shut the fuck up. Right? It's so hard to explain it. I'm having an epiphany right in front of you. It's because I'm kind of figuring this shit out for myself too, way better. And I just seen everything differently for a minute. I made a cognitive switch. That was the other side. That was my right side that was talking, not my left. This left's back. Maybe. Duh. So, anyway, when you fucking learn how to see, then you can then you can learn about fucking what it is that you're looking at and seeing the world for what it truly is in all situations. And then you go out and you say 8 inches per mile squared is the math for the curvature of the earth if you're standing on a ball. And they don't even say it's a perfect ball anymore. It's a fucking pear or some shit. So the curves would be fucking changing at some points and doing all kinds of crazy fucking shit to hold itself to the fucking shape. It's crazy. Oh, it's so crazy. If the sun was going 66,000 miles an hour or whatever, flying through fucking space, and I've been saying this for years, it would have a tail, right? Like comets and things have a tail. The sun would be like a fireball. It wouldn't look just like a sun. But anyway, then you look at international flights. Look up. It's fucking hard to look this up nowadays, but if you can find the map used in World War II for strategy, it's the flat Earth. The logo to the UN is the flat Earth map. It was the map that the sailors made in order to sail around the Earth and get back home. Like, they made it. They did it. All through the oceans and stuff. And they go out, come back, and go out, come back, and do all kinds of stuff. And look at the stars. And sail. And if you brought one of those guys to now, the stars would look a little different. He'd fucking pick out the main constellations. And away he'd go. And he'd fucking sail anywhere around this Earth. And then if you gave him the ball Earth map, he'd think you were fucking nuts. So that's what they all did. Like back in Martin Luther King and all those guys doing all that stuff to make Christianity away from Catholicism, not Junior. the original Martin Luther. I don't think it was King. It was just Martin Luther. I don't know. I don't know why I put King in there. Maybe. So anyway, doesn't matter. He fucking. They asked him about the Flat Earth Society or whatever, or the Globe Earth Society, and he said that's not something we need to deal with. Only fool would believe any part of that. It's foolish. We've been sailing the earth for a fucking 1,000 years. We know what it looks like. We know what's under our feet. We don't have to fly up in the air to see what's right here. And we have flown up in the air because they used to go up in balloons and shit all the time. And look around. It just gets bigger, flatter. Right? There might be a hill or a mountain or a fucking skyline or a fucking horizon. But as you go up, you just see more of it and it flattens out more. Anyway. The evidence for flat Earth is so apparent, so clear, it's so right there that that it seems silly. I understand why you guys think it's silly or whatever, because it's like no, fuck, it can't be that simple. I just go out and look around and prove. I can just look at a table and eyeball it up and oh shit, everything kind of looks like it's curved, and then oh no, but it's not, and now I can see everything and everything's different, and oh shit, it's different from here, and oh, it looks different again. Oh, and look, at heat up the sunlight and the UV, and I see the vapors, and now it looks different again. And I can see illusion and a mirage of it on top of itself, so it looks like it has a curve to it, and then if I put the glass windows to have like that curvature on the window, then I'll see curvature on the land. Like, do you think airplanes need to have that bent glass? Fucking shit's thick. Doesn't need to have the bend in it. It's for your benefit. My windshield has a bend in it, and it'll show curve of the earth. It's not really there. Anyway, that's why it's the thick glass. It's separated with curve in it, and it gives you the fisheye lens to your naked eye or whatever. Anyway, so, and that's why you'd see the curve rate of takeoff, and then you'd see it the whole way up. But when you go drive up a hill or climb onto a house and get up on the roof and look around, you don't see that curvature. It's not there. So why was it there just as you were taking off in the plane? Right? Because that's the only time that you're paying any attention to it, too, right? For the most part, your left brain doesn't want to fucking deal with all those little tiny details, all these little minute fucking details. It's just like, now, let's break it into things that we know. We'll fucking process it as that and move on so that we can think faster. We want to go faster. I want to be able to process that information good enough that I can move on and fucking have a conversation or have a new thought or whatever. I'm not going to sit here and fucking remember every fucking detail that's in a room. Whereas the right brain is the opposite, and it's like, no, let's fucking sit here and stare fucking something until I know every detail of it. I'm gonna go over it and just consume. So just try to see the world. Try to absorb things. Do little tests to see if you can make your brain examine the detail of something. See if you can see all four legs. Look at a Van Gogh. Even if it's just a print, just look at it. Like the chair or something really simple. Like, 'cause he's got paintings that are that simple, right? Anyway, just stare. Creeps people out sometimes for sure, but excuse me. But that's a worthwhile sacrifice in order to move your brain forward in your life and see the world and absorb the universe and fucking understand it and understand what's there. Not that you know what's exactly there, it's vague, but know that what they say isn't there. The billions of light years of this and that and all this, and that we're exploring it, flying around, Star Trek shit. That's not there. There's something there. There's way more than we know or think about. But it ain't that. That's impossible. And then if you get into like the mechanics of a vacuum, just go make a vacuum container, clear glass, glue it all together, drill a hole in it in one piece before you glue it together because you don't want the bits of shit in there, and hook it up to your vacuum to suck all the air out of it and make a fucking empty airless chamber. And you could do experimentation